We've just been sitting around looking at the picture of Michelle Bachmann that they put on Newsweek, myself and a couple of my daughters. And we've been looking at the most high definition or best quality photo that we could find on the web. It's actually much better than most of the other photos that are out there of this magazine cover. And at first we were looking so closely and we were thinking that could not have been photoshopped. However, as we zoomed in and we looked close, we saw some very peculiar attributes to the picture that absolutely did not look normal. First, I want to have my daughter explain why she believes that the Newsweek photo eyes are not natural.
Because the muscles in your eye, if you widened your eye, all the muscles would be pulling up your eye, so it would be a rounded on the top instead of like a triangle.
What about that does not look natural?
I don't think that one part of your eyelid would actually go up and everything else just stays in the same spot. That everything would actually go up together if you widen your eyes. And that also, it's kind of hard to make your eyes wider when your eyebrows don't go up. I can't do that, and I don't think it's really possible.
Okay, so now let's go into a more detailed analysis of it, an enlargement. I'm now going up 800%. That is the one that seems to have the most, when you get up close, the most deformed adjustment. And we can clearly see that the eyelid is in a triangular shape over the iris and has a flat part of the eyelid that looks quite unnatural as well. So if we go over to the other side, my youngest daughter, and here she is to explain about the pixels on the iris, the top part of the eye, what she said, what she thought.
I think the top part of the blue eye is really fuzzy and it's not as sharp, and it looks like it just wasn't natural enough to be actually the eye. The top part of the eyelid was also really fuzzy and pinkish and really unnatural.
Okay, and at the time she also mentioned that the fuzziness of the pixels on the top part of the iris followed the line of where she thought the eyelid would naturally fall. And so we attempted to adjust the eyelid using the liquify tool to bring it back down to a more natural shape, and that covers the part of the iris that does not look like the rest of the iris.
There's a line about at the end of the left side of the eyeball, which was cut, and it seemed as though it had been another layer of eyeline that had been pushed upwards.
So we've repaired the image to what we believe was the more natural shape of the eyelid. And when you flip between the two, you can see how unnatural that is, the way that they have manipulated the pixels. So to sum it up, I believe that this was a very good professional Photoshop job. The person apparently had possibly had to add a little bit of information from another picture taken on the same day to complete the top of the iris. If we go to another picture of her, you can see that in no way, shape, and form is that a natural portrait that they've done. You can see where her eyelids are covering the top of her irises significantly. There could be an argument that she's squinting in the sun, so I went ahead and got an interior shot. It is not very detailed, it's pretty pixelated, but this one shows her eyes are wider than the exterior shot that we had previously. But when we enlarge the image, it's clear that her eyelids cover the tops of her irises. And I looked at many photos. These are just two examples, and in none were the whites of her eyes showing above her irises. They're trying to make a decent and intelligent woman look like a crazy woman. Now, Newsweek, they're supposed to be a serious magazine. They're supposed to be journalists. They have relegated themselves to the level of a tabloid. And, if you want to read it for entertainment, but it's nothing. It's not serious. They are far from being the adults in the room. They're just a little kid.